Ever since the day 27 centuries ago that a pair of twin babies named Romulus and Remus were nursed there by a she-wolf, the city of Rome has been one of the world's great attractions for travelers. Cleopatra came by galley. Hannibal tried to reach Rome by elephant. And a man named Peter trudged there on foot to build a church. Today, as through the ages, all roads lead to Rome. Yet, strangely enough, many tourists, especially Americans, do in Rome not as the Romans do, but as Americans do back home. Hot dogs and get your ice-cold soda, Pop, in the Stadia dei Marmi on a sunny 4th of July. Throw in the famous Harlem Globetrotters, strictly an American export product, and you may as well have stayed home in Keokuk, Glendale, or Peoria, to say nothing of Chicago or Harlem itself. So long, boys. See you back home in Madison Square Garden. Another American export, the baseball team of the U.S. aircraft carrier Intrepid versus the Italian League All-Stars. The Via Veneto, Broadway of Rome, where Americans gather to look over the other Americans. But pretty soon you become restless, and you're off for other parts of the city by horse and carriage. Figuring out the fare is a formula known only to the driver and his horse, but don't worry about it too much. Long before Hollywood ever thought of making a film about it, tourists were tossing their coins in the Trevi fountain. If you've come to love Rome as so many out-of-towners do, then come here before you leave. According to old legend, toss a coin in the fountain and you're bound to return someday. The Piazza di Spagna and the famous Spanish Steps. 150 years ago, this was the center of the city's foreign quarter. Today, it is a favorite spot for tourists, as well as uninhibited residents of the area. A note for lovers of English literature. John Keats, Percy Bysshe Shelley, and Sir Walter Scott once lived in this section of Rome. Many of these avenues have echoed to the stamp of marching feet through the centuries. Caesar's legions, the Duce's black shirts, Hitler's Wehrmacht, and American GIs from Burbank, Boston, and the Bronx. The conquering armies have come and gone. Today, as they have for centuries, children play in the fountains of Rome. The tomb of the Emperor Hadrian, later the fortress castle of Sant'Angelo. Here, the medieval popes took refuge when the Vandals came, making their way from St. Peter's through a stone-covered arcade to be safe from flaming arrows. In Midtown, the Piazza Venezia is a reminder of recent tragedy on a global scale. For here is the balcony where Mussolini gloried in the applause of those he led to disaster. The Victor Emmanuel Monument, originally dedicated to the first king of United Italy. Now the tomb of the nation's unknown soldier. But to the visitor with a sense of history, the real excitement of Rome is that you can walk or ride where the Emperor Nero made music while the city burned, where Mark Antony spoke over the body of Caesar, the speech that Shakespeare imagined began, "Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears." the Forum, the marketplace of public opinion during the era of the Republic, and the platform of government during the days of Imperial Rome. Here is incredible antiquity, testifying mutely to the memory of men who shaped the destiny of their own times and the world we live in today. Caesar, Cicero, Marcus Aurelius, Trajan and Titus, they all passed this way. This is what time has done to the once magnificent Arch of Titus, raised to commemorate the capture of Jerusalem in the year 70 AD, only a few years after the death of Christ. And seen in the distance through the Arch of Titus stands the Colosseum, symbol of Imperial Rome, conqueror and ruler of all the known world 20 centuries ago. Many poets have written of the Colosseum in many languages. Here are a few lines in our own language. While stands the Colosseum, Rome shall stand. When falls the Colosseum, Rome shall fall. And when Rome falls, the world. Pass through the arches the ancient multitude once thronged. Inevitably, your mind takes you back 2,000 years, and you are a slave, entering this amphitheater to face death for the amusement of the bloody-minded mob. You look toward the Emperor's box, from which the imperial thumb will signal your life or death. You hear the roar of beasts released from the pit. Today, where the martyrs shed their blood, stands a Christian church under the cross of Jesus. It's a lovely midsummer Sunday, and 12 miles from the city lies the Lido di Roma and Ostia. Water sports and surf bathing in the Tyrrhenian Sea. This is Rome's Coney Island, Virginia Beach, and Miami rolled into one. Una bella ragazza. They're the same in every language. A mid-afternoon snack al fresco alla italiano. And now for an exhibition of water sport fit for any Olympic competition. Where we sit, it looks like a clean sweep for the Italian national diving team. And now you're about to enjoy, more or less, Rome's favorite outdoor sport, a ride through the city in a modern chariot for two. only a little noisier than the day Vesuvius blew its crater. But one smile from a 20th century Mona Lisa, and they're off again, seeking new pedestrians to conquer. The Appian Way, a few miles out of Rome, built as a military road 300 years before the birth of Christ. By this road, Rome went forth to the conquest of Greece, Asia, and Africa. And up this same road, from the conquered lands of Asia Minor, came the humble men, some of them in chains, like Paul, who brought a new message to pagan Rome. These are the cobblestones over which the early Romans and Christians trod in war and peace 20 centuries ago. Today you follow the ancient roads to the flower feast at Cenizzano, a medieval village in the mountains behind the city. The people have worked all week paving the streets with mosaics of flower petals. White acacia, golden broom, red roses, and poppies. The procession begins to move through 2 miles of narrow streets, all carpeted with flowers, green leaves, and laurel. The color and character of humble worshipers, at the same time deeply devout and naturally gay. Here the angels are children, and the children angels. The Infiorata draws to a close. The procession ends at the church. The crowd gathers to be blessed, and little girls gather up what is left of the flower pavement. The church stands open to receive the faithful, open like all of Italy's churches, humble or great. St. Peter's. It stands in Vatican City, a tiny independent state, totaling 100 acres and 1,000 citizens, only a mile or so from the bustling downtown traffic of metropolitan Rome. "146 statues of saints look down from the roof that covers these gigantic columns. This is the largest church in the world, spiritual capital for the world's 423 million Catholics. 120 Swiss guards recruited only from Swiss citizens wear the archaic livery of the Medici family, designed by Michelangelo. They are the bodyguards of the Pope. Just before noon each day at St. Peter's, a strange thing happens. Slowly, the huge square begins to fill with people. They come from all over the world. Many of them are Catholics, many are not. But all of them await the opening of a window and the appearance of one man. The Pope speaks.
Spatium eberet e fructuose penitentie, cor semper penitens et emendationem ebite, gratiam et consolationem et sancti spiritus, et finalem perseverantiam in bonis operis, qui pote vobis omnipotens, et misericors Dominus. et benedictio Dei omnipotentis, Patris, et Filii, et Spiritus Sancti, descendet super vos, et maniat semper.
His benediction is over. The window closes. But always in this place there is the aura of the sacrament, exaltation, and peace to all men.